Good morning. Thank you for tuning in. Please let us know if you're here, if you're with us this morning. Let us know your name, where you're from. My name is Katie, and I have Maeve here with me today. We will be talking to you guys about our merlin falcons. Let's try to get some better lighting on Miss Maeve here. Hi, Mavis. That is a very shrill noise, so I will try to keep that to a minimum if I can. Hi! Miss Maeve here is our merlin. She is a sweet species of falcon, so related to... Hi! You're okay. Related to Perry, who you guys met yesterday. Hello, welcome. Hi, Caitlin. Maeve says hi. Maeve misses you. Hi. I know, that's a noise. Oh my goodness. So we're hanging out here in front of the Center for Wildlife. This is our admissions area right here. Good morning, Kim and Ron. Hello, welcome everybody. Come on in. I have Maeve sitting here on our stump that we love to have our birds perch on. And the lighting's a little tricky. You may have to move. Hi, Miss Maeve. Good morning, Tristan, Chloe, and Gabe. Good morning. So we have her sitting here. She is leashed up, and I do have a glove on. I know, so loud. Good morning. So we'll see if we can get some good lighting. We also have some wonderful Phoebes joining us this morning. Our Phoebes have been back in our area talking, calling to their mates. So cute. We love it. Hi, Ryan. We miss you too. Oh my goodness. All of our friends are here. Maeve. So yesterday we met our peregrine falcon. I know. Yes. You're okay. Yesterday we met our peregrine falcon, Perry, and today we're meeting his smaller cousin, Maeve. She's a merlin. Merlins are a type of falcon that we don't get to see too often. They're actually pretty uncommon to spot. They are a forest-dwelling falcon, so they're normally in pretty dense forests, and they are very, very speedy and fast, so we don't get to see them too much. You know, they're not in areas that we are populating very frequently, so pretty rare to get to see one of these guys. Let's see if we can move into an area that's a little brighter, Miss Maeve. Hi! Let's walk around. Good morning. I know, where are we going? What do we think? Good morning. The lighting is so tricky. Hi, everybody. We're just getting our lighting situation figured out. Good girl. Maeve is super chatty. Maeve was brought to us as a young bird. She was almost about 3 months old when we got her into our medical clinic, and there we go. For that reason, she has picked up on our language quite a bit. So she thinks that she should be talking to us a lot. Falcons are pretty vocal already, but Miss Maeve has certainly expanded on that because she thinks that's a normal thing for her to do. You guys might be able to hear our Broadwing hawk, Miss Gracie, talking as well. It's a beautiful day, and when that happens, Gracie loves to come out and play and say hello to everybody. She'll start calling in to our other Broadwing hawks that we have in our area that are migrating up north. So she has been calling quite a bit as well. Nice. We have a lot of sounds going on at the Center for Wildlife right now. We have our Phoebes, like I mentioned, that say Phoebe. And then we also have Miss Maeve. We have Bertram that talks to us every morning and begs for his breakfast. So we have a lot of sounds. Nice job. And then in the afternoons, our barred owls will start calling. That's Dante, who talks a lot. We also hear a lot from our great horned owls. So we have a lot of sounds going on up here, which is nice because it's been really quiet. Miss Maeve here came to us after she was in an accident. She was hit by a car, unfortunately, and broke her, her little feather here, you can kind of see, is actually the location of her break. So she broke her wrist, which is where that feather is originating. I know. So she is now unable to really control the direction of her flight too well. She can get up in the air, she can beat her wings enough to get up into the air, but she is not able to really change direction as much as our merlins need to be able to. Merlin falcons are known for their ability to swoop and dive and swerve through trees. They actually kind of zigzag through the forest, chasing down other species of birds. So they are very, very good at changing direction pretty quickly. And Miss Maeve here is not really able to do that anymore. So she lives with us permanently. She is a really funny girl. Hi. I know, it just got darker. What do we think? She is a really funny girl. She does love to hang out with people. I know. Good girl, there you are. You're so beautiful. In the sun? Yeah. As you can see, Miss Maeve, when she's looking around, she's going to be bobbing her head up and down like you might see pigeons or chickens doing this. She's adjusting her depth perception doing that. Nice job. So she's seeing things in the distance and bobbing her head to focus on them. Nice job. What do you see? She has these big, big eyes. She actually has some really cool telescopic vision. She can see pretty far around her head, like a greyhound. And she's looking at some of our staff walking by right now. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Miss Maeve. We had to find some lighting that was good for us. Good morning, Maeve. Nice job, you hear so much. The other really amazing thing about our merlins is their eyesight is fantastic, so she can see things that we cannot. She can see tiny little, pepper flakes that are birds up in the sky. She can see about 2 miles away, which is really impressive. And she can do that while she's flying, so she's able to see things that are very far away while she's in motion as well, and things that are moving very, very quickly. So in the wild, these guys would normally hunt for other species of small songbirds, other species of birds. They're sometimes known as like pigeon falcons because they will hunt other species like pigeons as well. They're sometimes called the lady's falcon because back in medieval courts, the males of the court, the knights, would all use peregrines to hunt, and the females would work with the merlin. So the ladies of the court would work with Miss Maeve here. Yes, I know. They are actually a bit bigger if you find them in Europe. The American kestrel and the merlin are both smaller here in North America than they are in Europe, so they can get quite a bit bigger. Hello, Miss Maeve. Hi. Good girl. Let us know if you are here, if you're available. Thank you so much for donating. Let us know where you're from. I'd love to say hello. Miss Maeve would love to say hello. Hi. I know it's a sound. It's definitely a sound to get used to. When we first started working with Maeve when she was a baby, I know, I was working with her every day on the glove. We would get her on the glove and feed her lunch, and sometimes it would take a long time for her to eat. So after a little bit, I noticed that I started hearing some ringing in this ear because she was so loud. She's been doing that since she was a baby. And a lot of people will ask us when they come up to the Center for Wildlife, is she mad? Is she yelling at us? Oh, I'm gonna try to walk away because I think I'm making her upset, something like that. But she is actually perfectly happy, and she's saying hello because she thinks she should be talking to us, and that's kind of the only way that she can. That's her voice. So she is not upset when she makes that noise. She actually has a very different noise for when she's upset. It's kind of a shortened version. It's not that long, drawn out pews that you hear. She's doing like a ba, 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 ba. She gets very, very staccato call when she's upset. So Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you see, we do have a donate button on all of our Facebook Lives. Thank you so much for donating. It really helps us to complete our work, to take care of our ambassadors like Maeve here, as well as the patients that we have in our medical clinic. We actually have been picking up a little bit because it is springtime, so we have baby birds. We have a baby mourning dove, a baby squirrel, one baby squirrel, some baby mice. So we are picking up a little bit, and all of the donations that you guys give generously help to support that work. I know. If you also, thank you so much for donating. That's so sweet. Hi, good morning. Yeah, let us know where you're from. We have a lot of volunteers and staff listening to us today that aren't able to be with us on site, which we miss them all dearly, and we're glad to be able to show you guys Mavis here. So Maeve was found on the side of a road when she was pretty young. She was probably a little fledgling, and she was most likely hunting near the roads because it was an easy source of food for her. So what people don't really realize, hi, I know. What people don't realize is that when they are driving down the road and they throw something like an apple core or a banana peel onto the side of the road, that they might actually be contributing to some injuries that we see in our clinic. So what happens is people will throw, you know, trash, garbage, apple cores, things like that out of their car window, and especially with the food items, people think that because it's food, because it'll go back into the earth, because it's compostable, that it wouldn't cause any damage, that it's not really littering. But what we see is that animals will start to look at the roads as a really easy source of food. So they'll be attracted to the roads because they know that there's food there, and then they might come into contact more frequently with cars. So they might get hit by cars more because they're hunting near the roads. So the best thing that we can do to prevent that is to just not throw garbage on the road, not litter, but also not throw compostable items on the road. That's something that a lot of people don't tend to think about, but it is really, really important. I know, Maeve, because it attracts small rodents to eat fruit and vegetables or whatever we were putting on the road, and then the presence of those prey items attracts predators like Maeve. So Maeve was there because she saw mice running around. She was a small bird, a young bird. She probably wasn't the best hunter yet. It takes some time for them to develop their hunting skills. So she was taking advantage of the fact that there was plenty of food there. So she was most likely hit by a car. Because of that, she was found on the side of the road, and when that happens, we presume that they were struck by a car, especially if they have some sort of a traumatic injury, like Miss Maeve did. She's getting all fluffy. That means she's relaxing. You're so sweet. So you can see the feathers on her face are flexing. She's looking up at the sky, seeing what's up there. Oh, she really is very, very content to sit with us for a long, long time. She loves being outside in the sun. Good girl, what do you see up there? Nice job. I love the little feathers around her beak that you can see pretty close. You're letting us get pretty close with the camera. Oh, that's very loud. We don't want to be that close. And I do apologize if that's loud and grating to you guys, but it is her noise. It is just the way that she talks to us. You're a sweet girl. Falcons are usually pretty vocal in the wild. They do talk to each other quite a bit, and the only kind of odd thing that Maeve does is that she talks to people instead of other falcons. So whenever we walk by her enclosure, she'll start talking. If she hears us in the Ed Halls near her enclosure, she'll start talking. So she's definitely a chatty girl. What do you see up there? I think she sees something up high that I can't even see, which is amazing. So we are on Mount Agamenicus. We have a lot of turkey vultures that soar above the mountain here, a lot of eagles as well. So she might be looking up at the sky and just making sure that she keeps an eye on any animals that might be predators to her up there. What do you see up there? Are you exploring? You're so cute. Something that's cool, because Maeve will let us get pretty close with the camera, you guys can see her beak really, really well. She has that sharp curved beak. And the next time that she makes a sound, pay attention to the little ridges that you see in her beak. She actually has tiny, tiny little ridges in her beak that are called toenail teeth. And good girl, you're so cute. And that ridge is not a tooth, although it is called a tooth sometimes. But it is actually just a little ridge that helps her to grind up her food, to rip it up really nicely. It also helps to snap the neck. Yeah, we don't want them to be deaf, so. So it does help them to snap the necks of the birds that they're eating. They're very, very fast. They are in the falcon family, so they'll chase down other birds, and once they come up on them, they'll kind of grab them and punch them with their little toes. You can see she has long, spindly toes. They'll curl those up into a little fist. And at such high speeds that impact is often enough to kind of stun that bird, knock them out, so they can fly away with them. And then that little ridge in her beak is really great for just snapping the neck of that bird really, really quickly, so she doesn't have to worry about it wriggling away or flying off. They will eat small mammals as well. They do hunt for small mammals in the forests. They eat a variety of things, but they're very well adapted to hunt down birds. Their cousin, the peregrine, is also a bird eater, and they are all evolved for speed. So you can really see, I know. Maeve has very pointy wings. Nice job. She has a very pointed wing shape, a very pointed body shape. You can see this long tail that she has is actually really good at acting like a rudder. Nice job. Acting like a rudder while she's flying. So it helps to control her direction. It's just like if you're in a boat and you're changing direction, the rudder's gonna help to move you in one direction or another. That tail has the same function as a rudder. So it's going to help her to change direction, help her to move, and she can respond really, really quickly, or she could if she was fully flighted. What do you see? She's also a little perturbed this morning. She did not get her breakfast yet, so I know you're very loud. Yes, she did not get her breakfast yet, so she is she's a little upset about that. She'll get her breakfast as soon as we're done, so that's why she's nibbling here. I know. There are a lot of songbirds around us, so she's probably also looking at them going, can I eat those guys? We have our phoebes are back, our nesting phoebes, which is so great. This time of year we start to see all of our eastern phoebes returning to our area. They'll start calling, they'll start building their nests. It's a wonderful time of year. It's great to see nature still continues on. It's really nice. And then we also will see other species coming back to our area in the next couple of weeks. April is a really fun migration season. These guys actually will return. Yeah, will return to our area. They spend most of the winter down in like Costa Rica, South America. They make very, very long distance migrations down south, and will travel really, really long distances in big groups. So Mount A is actually a really wonderful place to see migrations of raptors. We have thousands of raptors come through here every year, and they'll fly through this area because it's next to the coast. They're following some drafts, some of the currents, the wind currents that come up off the coast. Yeah. And then they also use Mount A. It's kind of the highest point around here, so they'll use it as a landmark to help them on their journey south. And then they'll overwinter down south in South America, which is coincidentally where all of the songbird prey that they eat also spends the winter. So they're full all winter long, and then they'll come back this way in the springtime. So Miss Maeve's friends will fly overhead in big groups called kettles, and kettles of merlins and kestrels and broadwing hawks really do use Mount A as a landmark. So we see tons of them around here. It's really cool. So she might be looking for them. Nice job. Please, if anyone has any questions, let me know, and I'd be happy to answer them while we're hanging out here. I've seen some hellos in the comments, but definitely let me know if you have any questions about Maeve. She is a very sweet girl and can hang out as long as you guys want. So, so please, if you have any questions, let me know, and I'd be happy to answer them. Something that's really, you're so cute. Look at those feathers around her beak. You're so sweet. You love the sun? I know. She says, I love mice more. Give me food. Yeah. Yeah. I know. I know. So we have a lot of raptor ambassadors here at the center, and these guys all have a few things in common. Our raptors all have a very sharp curved beak like Miss Maeve does. They all have these talons. Maeve's are a little bit longer and spindlier than say an owl's or hawk's would be. But they're all very strong and very good at catching their prey, and they all have incredible eyesight as well. So she can see very far away, but all of our raptors have great eyesight to be able to catch their food, hunt for their food. So some can see really well in the dark, like our owls. Some can see very far distances, like our falcons. Some can see things that are moving very, very quickly, also like our falcons. It's cool to think about, but they can actually see things that are moving quickly better than we can see them. So when we see a bird fly past a window, you know, it looks like a blur to us, but to them it looks like a very sharp image. So they can see songbirds flying through the forest really easily. Woo. All right, there you go, we dropped you. You're okay, I know. Yeah, what do you see up there? What do you see? It's okay. The other thing that helps these falcons go incredibly quickly is their smooth feathers. So you can see all of the feathers on Maeve's back lie down very, very smoothly against her body. She will fluff them up occasionally, but when she's flying, all of those feathers lay incredibly smooth down against her back. She's not like an owl who would have a very fluffy appearance, something that would look really soft. She is very sleek, and they do a lot of preening to keep themselves that way. So she is going to groom herself a lot to make sure, to make sure that all of her feathers are laying perfectly against her body, to make sure that she can cut through the air as efficiently as possible. They don't want to have any feather out of place producing any drag. So she, yeah, you're showing off your wings. So she is going to go very, very quickly, and all of her feathers need to be in the right configuration to do that. Hi guys, let me know if you have any questions, or say hi if you're here. We'd love to say hi, hello to everybody. Let us know where you're from. You're so sweet. She's sunning herself right now. Yeah. So when birds feel the sunshine on them, when they feel the rays on their feathers, sometimes they'll stick them out and sun themselves, kind of like a cat in the sun. And what this does is actually help to clean their feathers. The UV rays help to kill bacteria and to expose any sort of mites or anything. Nice job. So when they feel the sun, and it also feels nice, especially on a crisp day, they'll warm themselves up in the sun. What do you think? Hi. You're so sweet. You might also be able to hear a little bit of our frogs in the background. We've had all of our frogs migrate back to our area recently, which is really nice. We have some vernal pools behind the Center for Wildlife, so little dips in the ground that fill up with snowmelt and rainwater. And after the warm temperatures and all of the rains in the last couple of weeks, we have had big migrations back to those vernal pools. So our amphibians will spend the winter in the forest, and they'll actually, some of them will freeze completely through and then thaw out in the springtime, which is amazing. And so they will thaw out and return back to these ponds and vernal pools that we have here to lay their eggs. So so we've been hearing a lot of frog activity, a lot of wood frogs, a lot of, hi, what do you think? A lot of peepers. So that's a really cool sign of spring. Oh, you're showing off your back? Nice job. So you can see her very, very pointy feathers when she does that. Nice job. And that pointy tail. She also has brilliant camouflage to help her to blend in. What's interesting about kestrels and merlins is the coloration on the females and males is actually a little different, which is rare in raptors. Usually with raptors, the females and males have pretty similar coloration, and one of the only ways to tell them apart is by size. So usually the female will be a little bit bigger than the male, and the same is true in merlins, but there's also a little bit of color difference in them as well. The males do tend to be a little bit lighter. I know, where are you going? Yeah. And then in kestrels, you actually see pretty stark color differences. The females are kind of brown and reddish looking and have a little bit of blue on them, like a gray blue, and then the males have a lot of that gray blue on them. So there are a lot more color differences in our kestrels and merlins, which is cool. Nice job, Miss Maeve. Hello. I love all the little feathers around her face. They make her look so cute. You're so sweet. Hello. So yeah, if anyone has any questions for me, please let me know. We also can answer any questions down in the comments if you guys, but I will, whoop. I know, we dropped the camera. I know. But if anybody has any comments, please let me know, and we'll be sure to answer any questions down below. But thank you so much for tuning in with us today. Keep tuning in at 10 a.m. every morning, and we'll have another ambassador to introduce you to, and we'll be doing this for the whole month of April. So definitely keep tuning in if you guys need a little pick-me-up. Have a great start to your week, a good Monday, and we will see you soon. I know. Thank you all so much, and have a wonderful Monday. Have a great day.